Whoa.
That was a late recording.
I was like, did I do that? I didn't mean to.
No, I just realized the
Thomas
meeting wasn't
invoking
being
his god
recorded.
powers.
So Ohio is currently rebuilding. So we're I'm gonna work with like our state people. I don't know if we could get a group together quick enough. And then I don't know, like, within my county, like I have funding that I could go, but I also don't know like if that's frowned upon then if I don't bring kids for the first year out. Like I'm also fine waiting until 2023 to see if we can get a team up and running. Because the two that I have that currently serve on Team Ohio, I think one is in college now, and then the other will be a senior. So I'm not sure if we would have enough to bring a team out.
So Aubrey, if I can speak into maybe some of your decision-making process, I would say it would be highly valuable for you to come, even if you don't bring young people. And I say this because from my very first time going to this conference, I have walked away with so much more knowledge about how I wanted to engage my youth. And you know, you're going to grow so much in terms of just your ability to kind of see how this fits into all the other pieces of what you're doing within your county. And so I strongly encourage you to, you know, if you have the funding and you can come, go ahead and come. You'll benefit from it greatly.
Okay, I'm in. I'll figure out.
Thanks. That's great to hear. Because it's exciting. It's also like I don't know if we were going to talk about this like with the update that Tom sent. Because there's I think a lot of things that are exciting that Ohio could get involved in, and so now it's a matter of like connecting with those educators that Tom might have met, and then kind of connecting everybody together and getting a team of kids up and running. So I really appreciate it.
I will say it's also a great place to connect with people that you don't generally run into, right? So it's an easy place to find mentors or other people interested in volunteering, whether they're from Ohio or not. That's what I found is I think like Jack always talks about, it's a great melting pot of everyone coming together. And I think it's really the abilities it's a big networking conference is what it is.
Charlie, I hope this instills your excitement about having us re-engage with you out there. We're really excited about the possibility. And we do have a major national initiative underway called Where's the Food, which we think we'd really be looking for partners to engage us, as David was mentioning, from other states who've never heard of the initiative, and they become volunteer leaders and start up their own clubs. It's very, very exciting. I know we have limited time today for some of you. Austin, is he still on the call?
I don't think so.
He was going to lead us through a series of updates on collecting your ideas and thoughts about the upcoming Youth Health Summit, which is scheduled for April, just 3 weeks away. And I guess we're going to, it's going to be virtual, unlike the ESRI conference, you know, instead of being a face-to-face primarily, it's going to be a virtual primarily. And we had hoped today to gather input from several of you. I know that Thomas, Ray, and I, and several of and Kelly had done some brainstorming on the Youth Health Summit ideas that might be involved in it from the past, and the equity ideas that Thomas has been working on in North Carolina and across the country with the African American Association on the issues of equity of health causes and factors and outcomes and so on. I don't know, Austin's going to come. I saw him on the screen a minute ago, but maybe he ran out of time and is not going to be able to conclude this part. Is there a time prior to or following this coming Monday night that we could spend 20 minutes on the input to the summit gathering that we hope to accomplish this afternoon with Austin providing the leadership? Anyone? Kelly, you're muted. Kelly, you're muted.
I was hitting my space bar, but it wasn't working. I was going over to look at the calendar. Are you talking about today, us to hash that out, or are you talking about on Monday?
Well, we have a good recording, Thomas, and we have a recorder on, right? So can we access this tape for those who, so we can refer to it? Can you send it back out to us after the call, whenever it becomes available?
Yes, sir.
I'd love to spend a little time on it today if we could. And then if we need to, that either following the 9 o'clock cutoff on when everybody has to go to homework and so on, that we could talk a little more about it on Monday night at 9 p.m. Following that.
I don't know, Tom, my bedtime's 9, so
Oh, I
I'd be
forgot.
pushing it.
I forgot.
And you think I'm kidding, but I'm not.
Right. It's definitely rough to get home and start back up at 8 o'clock at night. Just
That's
saying.
right. That's right. Here's
Um,
Austin. Austin, are you back on the call now where you might take us
Yeah.
through your
Yes, sorry, I got dropped off
brainstorming
for a
and
second.
health food summit input gathering, design input and so on?
Yeah.
Austin,
Yeah.
floor is yours.
Great. Yeah, I think so. The plan today is in April for the Health Summit is to get as many youth interested virtually that we can. We went back and forth on that in terms of being able to be at it and not be at it. So now we're going to be there. Tom and I will be there at the summit, and then we'll facilitate virtually, sort of like we did, Kelly, at the NAE 4-H conference, having the youth participate virtually, with a focus on the Where's the Food project, health related. So, trying to think, there was something else that it came up with. Oh, our second phase, I was thinking about the grant phase 2. So we are finalizing our second grant with National 4-H Council. So there may be some opportunity for us to offer some grants for the Esri conference based off the scholarship program we did last year. So we can also have a conversation on that. That would be, if we needed to work with some states on that.
That's like we did the Scholars Initiative. We gave those 4 scholarships to 4 different youth last year. And that model worked out extremely well because the 4 youth they submitted proposals and we had more than 4, but we got 4 really good ones, that were clearly top of the tier, top of the stack. And they really advanced our initiative, 2 or 3 years faster than we would have been able to move in the absence. So I think that scholarship effort and the money could then go to the youth to maybe expend it in whatever way they saw fit. And if that included helping pay some of their costs to San Diego, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Anyway, hope that.
Yeah, any support on those expenses would be very welcome.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think our question will be figuring out, we did the first year that we kind of more focused on programming and just getting the grant and getting so now that we kind of looking forward, if we had 2 to 4 potential youth that are really engaged in the project and want to participate in the project, that would be a great opportunity we want to kind of extend this to be more opportunities than just programming this next round. So, and we really hope to expand this too outside of you know, we're working off the Walmart Foundation, but I think there's a little bit more work that can be done to grow the sustainability of this grant going forward as kind of an option for our team as a whole. So, but outside of that, I think the only ask that I would have would be, you know, at our April GGLEAD meeting, I will kind of bring to the meeting just an option for states to participate virtually in the presentation, and then we'll have a couple meetings following that to go over the presentation and to kind of see where people want to, what parts people want to participate with, and then we'll be doing 3 workshops or 3 sessions of workshops on the Saturday, which will be the 23rd of April. Yeah, 23rd of April. So
That's 8:30, 10, and 11:30, something like that. There are 3 repetitions of the similar or same workshop, but repeated with different groups of participants.
correct.
And I know that Thomas had some great thoughts and experience with his African American Association on the equitable access to health. The lack of equitable access to health care and services has resulted in inequitable results, negative factors in affecting the outcomes in a negative way. There's a piece of that, Thomas, I think that really be a rich component to the workshop. And Kelly, I know that you and Austin already down in Memphis did a wonderful job of bringing that together. And I think if we can blend those elements together, the former youth health summit that will be in a hotel in Bethesda, Maryland, the physical people that are the switchboard and, you know, all that, pulling all that together, that effort will, we need to blend that. Very similar to what you all did in Memphis. I mean, that came across. I was on remote and that was, I thought it went extremely well. So it's a hybrid of what you all did for Memphis, what we've done in the past with health, the Youth Health Summit, and the work that Thomas and your group in North Carolina has put together in around the equity piece. A blending of those 3 elements is sort of our Venn. I think of it as sort of a Venn diagram. If you took those 3 pieces, the former health summit we've done, the piece you did in Memphis, and the piece that Thomas has done, those are 3 circles. And if you overlap the Venn diagram, there's some overlap in some of it, and there's overlap in all 3 of those circles. And then there's some independent things that stand alone from each. And so our challenge between now and the 23rd of April, which is pretty quick, 3 weeks away, is to identify, 2 or 3 dates that whoever's going to be involved in the design team, that we can meld these things together and practice and make perfect, make the best better, I guess, as we say in our culture.
I think it would, I think that's awesome. Trying to think about the best part of each one of those. And I think if we can come up with something to showcase on Monday night with our kids, you may have more interest with them saying, hey, yes, I'd love to do this piece, or I'd love to do this piece. And I was talking to Vidya before everybody got on, as far as one of the things that works really well is, like when we did the orientation for everybody this year, everybody had just a couple minutes each to do their piece. So then the audience is seeing multiple faces, voice tones and body movements and gestures, and it kept them engaged. If we go too long with the people who are on the screen, I'm afraid we're going to lose, the members in the audience. So if we have a game plan basically on Monday that says, we can think about the strengths that each of the kids have already shown, all right, Sudi, can you give us a 3-minute presentation on your, whatever, and, people just picking the kids, and we give them those parameters real strict and tight of how they can be
Yeah.
involved.
Totally agree. Actually, that's a good plan. Maybe this Monday meeting, do you think that we can just keep it as an itinerary for the upcoming April summit, so that what needs to be done, who's responsible for what, something like that, and follow up with a rehearsal meeting before the actual summit to see how it works.
Might we identify a couple of potential rehearsal dates that you all think might make sense, just while we are all got our calendars are clearer today than they will be, next week and the week after. The time's going to get away pretty quickly. Is it an evening or daytime or nighttime better for those on the call?
Evening
I
sounds
think
good.
evenings will probably be better, yeah, because
Yes.
most youth are in school, so.
Okay, so evenings, and the time that we usually do is 8 o'clock in the evening Eastern time. Is that still a good time for everybody, the youth and so on, that'd be involved in the design? Yeah, okay.
I think so. I think our state youth even said, we've moved our state meetings to 8 o'clock at night as well, just because they're working and they have sports, and that seems to be a good downtime for them to finally get on. So
As long
as
as we
much as
keep
I
it
get
short.
tired.
So we have the 4th already taken up by our monthly meeting. So would it make sense that Austin is, what do you think? Go with the Monday night, stay with the Monday night format?
Yeah, I think stick to the Monday nights. So do the 11th and the 18th.
Yes.
8 o'clock will be two rehearsal meetings, with the 11th being sort of the pull together content, get everything worked. 18th will be a rehearsal, and then if we need to, we can do a midweek check-in for the 23rd. So.
So that'll be 3 meetings, Austin. That's what you're coming to say, 4, 11, and 18.
Well, the 4th we already have planned, yes, as our GGLEAD call, and then
Yes.
the 11th and 18th will be 2 follow-ups focused on the summit. Correct? Yes.
Sure. Suri will be in Sacramento on 11th. He has got robotics competition from 9th, 10, 11, 12. He'll be there. He will be missing that week for sure. Actually, I have to miss also because I have to accompany this guy, man. Yeah, I am going to miss also. I'll be in the field. 4th and 18th sounds good for me.
Good.
Please assign the kids what they need to be done on 4th, Austin. That would be great.
Okay.
So that offline, I'll make sure before he goes to the competition on 8th or 7th, I'll make him to show whatever that he's done before he shows up for the competition. That would be great. Oh, 18th, oh, we still have 3 more weeks. Okay.
Yeah, so we still got a little bit of time.
Yeah, we have time. I think we are good.
Yeah, and we've, and the truth is, I mean, I think when we really get on the call, I mean, we have a really good hour to really dive. I mean, I think we can pull it together.
Sure, sure.
We've got a lot of content between the past, just pulling that together and then weaving that in with Thomas's work. I think will be good.
And I know y'all keep saying Thomas's work, but I really can't take credit for it. So
Well, you're Thomas's team's work, led by the fearless leader Thomas.
there you go. That's
How about that?
But I can't take credit for it. So I have to pass it on to the team. But yeah.
Thomas, would it be reasonable to think that maybe Monday night, there might be a little 2 to 3 minute summary of what you think might be a good module?
I can. So, our team, after they completed the application, they actually did a national training with the Center for Black Health and Equity, where they taught them how to use the web application. And so it's already written, it's already done. The script is done. The use case scenarios are already done. Everything's done. As far as the bigger piece of what we did. So we could definitely take like a use case scenario out of that, or whatever the team feels like would, but this larger team feels like would be most appropriate and helpful in the setting of the equity track of the Youth Health Summit. Like we can activate our team to do their part. What we had in Austin before you go,
Yeah.
in Eastern Tennessee, there's the, this always gets me. There's the Clyde Austin
4-H.
4-H camp.
Yep. Yep.
And I
Yep.
thought, we have
Yep.
Clyde and Austin on our national team. How
There
cool
you
is
go.
that? They're both. So whenever I go over there, I just can't help but think of you guys.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyways, all that to say that our programming we had been scheduled to do some programming there that weekend, but it's canceled. So our schedule has opened up. So we're good for the virtual participation for sure.
Great.
Wonderful.
It was going to be some juggling. We were going to participate anyways, but now the juggling part has
Takes a little pressure out.
Yeah, it takes a little pressure off trying to do two things at once.
We'll say,
Awesome.
I cannot be a part of the actual presentation itself. I will be out of town, but I'll definitely work with our 2 or 3 youth and see if there's things that they can help contribute and who's available. So
Kelly, do you envision maybe a little 2 or 3 or 4 minute spiel that they might do about potentially on Monday night to get people in the spirit of what might be?
I'm confused as to what you would want them to do on Monday. Bye, Austin.
Austin, what do you think? Bye, Austin.
He dismissed.
Actually, okay.
Yeah, he's leaving.
Well, I mean,
He thinks he's
it's-
on to the next thing.
It's just whatever someone said a moment ago, that having a little sneak preview of the ideas would get the youth excited about engaging in it. That's kind of, it's almost like a preview of coming attractions. I mean, it may be you telling it, but it might be someone on your youth team to telling it also. Like Thomas said, you've got everything already pre-canned. It's just a matter of picking a little piece of it that you let people see ahead of time that says, oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, I'll check with Nikhil, and if he's available and going to be there, I'll have him prepare to share something.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would be able to get, yeah, I'm just not sure. I know Jeff is super packed being his senior year, and I was kind of hoping that this would be the time that he would bring Ashok, who's been involved a lot, under his wing. So I'm not sure if there's something that, Ashok would be able to contribute just yet, other than if we said, hey, can you talk about da 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 da. But I guess I was kind of looking for the ideas of what Austin would like in the presentation, what you guys are looking for in the presentation.
Well,
be able to share with the kids.
Maybe it's to take that Memphis piece and pick make a highlight reel out of that. You have that story, whatever form it was, and just pick some little highlights out of that and make that it's something that's already been produced, that from the Memphis piece that you think would definitely should be a part of the health summit, things that would make it appealing.
Right. I'll definitely take a look at it. I know my first thoughts are it was for a different audience, different purpose, but there may be pieces that we can pull out.
Yeah, there might be
that
some
would correlate.
pieces you could clip out of it and put it into a little short piece or something, you know. Like they
Okay.
take the good stuff and give us the good parts.
Gotcha.
Reading those books, where are the good parts, right? Well, I'm glad Austin got back on with us, and I'm sorry to have interrupted you, Charlie, but I hope that gives you some insight into kind of where this is an ongoing multi-year. You remember when the kids were up front and they talked about the obesity maps and and Jack asked the youth, I think it was Austin and a couple of young ladies there that were on the screen, said, well, now, what do you think, all this obesity and so on, what do you think the major cause of this in these regions where they're hotspots and so on? And they alluded some hypothesis about that, and some of this health summit work has flowed from that, Charlie, and has enabled a tool that we call Youth Community Map. County Health Factors. The University of Wisconsin took the CDC data and the other health data and put it in a form where our youth can pull it up on their website and move it in, take that data, then move it into maps about their own state and counties. And that's been the important part of the Health Summit, is our helping youth and adults intending there learn how to make that transition from the raw data into visualization, so that would help their communities see the health priorities of their county, their own communities, that many people in their own counties know about these problems, but they don't know that they're the number out of the 11 things that are going bad. These are the 3 top most that should be being addressed. And the kids are able to take those maps and go to the county fair and say, these are our healthcare priorities in our county based on Center for Disease Control data. And people are going, wow, we really need to do something about this. And so it's converting, our youth community mapping is truly converting, information into actionable ideas. And that's what we hope to accomplish in that 45 minutes, is to get whoever's in that session to go home and say, man, we've got to make some maps and show people what our health priorities are in our county, and get people worked up about it. And so they want to do something about it. So that's kind of what we hope to give them enough tools. And the other piece is always the follow up with them to help them be successful in doing that in their own communities. And that's part we're always trying to improve that process. Sorry for the bunny trail, but that was sort of the, Charlie, I hope that helps you see how this all fits together and our friendship
Yep.
together. Other thoughts, Thomas, Kelly, Vidya, Aubrey?
Oh,
Vidya, the 2 recruits, the applications from California Youth, they got sent, according to Sudi, I think they got sent to an email address that somebody looks at, and I have not seen the applications if they got sent to the address.
That probably sits with me, Tom. I don't monitor that account, but I think several of us have access to it. But I will pull those, and we can discuss that at Monday night's meeting as well.
That would be great. That'd be great.
Thank you, Dr. Thanks, Tom. I have to check
Yeah,
with
you're
Suri
welcome.
only. So Suri was coordinating with you, Tom?
Thomas, who's going to be the decision maker on, can we make the decision on those Monday night and say if they meet our?
So maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
Let me give me some time between now and Monday to take a look at what we've got, and then we can maybe just make a recommendation, or we could spend 5 to 10 minutes maybe in breakout rooms with the youth, reviewing some applications and making some decisions. Historically, we've tried to ensure that young people were a part of, our current team members were a part of the onboarding process or selection process for who was going to join them on the team, right? So rather than yeah, I would rather us think through how do we make the youth a part of that process. And so I think maybe breakout rooms where we take a look at the applications might be helpful. Or the other thing I could propose alternatively would be to send applications to teams, like maybe this evening, have them go ahead and look at them, review them, like I can divvy them up and have them review them and then come with their feedback and recommendations on Monday. That's
like
another
that.
alter. Okay.
Yeah, I like that model.
I'll work towards that then.
Is there a way to eliminate the personal information that's on there, like their addresses and things like that?
Yeah, I can
So that it
work on
doesn't
that.
end up going somewhere that it shouldn't, you know?
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, great call. Thanks, Kelly.
So, and then what is the criteria to get onboarded, Dr. Ray or Tom? So how does it work? So like, I mean, at least the kids should have some volunteering experience or willing to volunteer, or that should be some sort of, some basic
Yeah,
thing
and
that needs
so
to be checked out, right?
so the application pretty much details what the criteria are for being a part of the team. And so if you don't have access to the application, we can make sure to get you a copy of it. But basically it does a good job of outlining the criteria for being a part of the teams rather than me trying to rattle it off from
Okay.
my memory. But it, some kind of exposure to you mentioned volunteer service, but specifically technology, and then assessment of kind of where they are with using GIS, and then the commitment. Like a big part of it is the future commitment. I'm willing to be a part of the monthly meetings. If there's an in-person conference, then I'm willing to be a part of coming to that and participating in that. And so those are it's a lot of commitment, as well as being able to have some demonstration of, interest and or aptitude for being a part of the leadership team.
Okay, that sounds good. So I do know that Sudi got my signature. He technically forcefully picked up my signature because he needs to send that to the state coordinator. And Sudi, I said that I hope this is not something money related. So I signed it, but I haven't had a chance to look at it. So who will have that application, Dr. Ray? The state coordinator?
No, it's gone from the state coordinator was wanting to know who they were supposed to send it to because they didn't have a name of a person. They were wanting to send it to a name, rather than just an email address. But apparently, Thomas, if you've seen them in there, I don't know if you have seen them in there or not, but this.
I have not. I just know that, like I mentioned earlier, my North Carolina group out in Roanoke Valley has also submitted. So I hope they have. They're supposed to. They're supposed to. Supposedly, they've also submitted. So we need to review all of the applications that have come in. So
Sure.
rather than take any more time on that right now, I will do as I've said, and we'll go from there.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, sounds great.
So this Monday call will be more talking about this upcoming summit, is it right? So how we are going to channelize and split our efforts, something like that. Is that right, Dr. Ray or Tom?
So it sounds to me that we will have some of the time will be dedicated to reviewing our summit plan.
Mhm.
And then we will we'll also dedicate some of our time to our new team member selection. We'll also probably have to dedicate at least a little bit of time to starting to talk about some details or some foreshadowing of details for the summit.
Sure. Sounds good.
Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about before we wrap it up?
Kelly, I think David and Miss Debbie are both veterans of California, meeting many times. So David, I know that Miss Debbie has asked me, I said, is that San Diego meeting on or off this year? You know, and she seems pretty excited about the possibility of it being on. So it sounds like you've got a willing co-conspirator there in Iowa if you want to do some little recruiting between now and then. Okay. Don't hear you, David.
We can hear you, David.
Oh, is this better?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
better.
don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to make it or not. We'll see.
Hope you can.
David, I can tell one thing, Suri is a big fan of you, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, he says that follow David. I said, why do you need to follow others? Mom, I'm talking about LinkedIn.
Oh,
Yeah, David's a great leader. We just,
Yeah. So he said that you're posting so much of jobs, and then it's whenever you like something, it's coming to his feed, and then technically it's going to his connections as well, Suri's connections as well.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So David, you're a mini hero, in Suri's heart.
yeah, I have my iron in too many fires right now. Which I'm sure, Tom, you can relate to me, right?
I do. We do. We all do.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think we all can.
We
Welcome to the club.
We greatly appreciate the tremendous sacrifice we all make to this worthy cause. It's really greatly appreciated, and so much good does come from it, though that makes it easy to continue to be engaged. And I deeply appreciate each and every one of you and the dedication that you have given through many years of effort to this effort. Charlie, we got quite a great core team. We can hope as many of us can make it out there this summer and be together again. That'd be terrific. Thank you for extending us that opportunity to join you in San Diego this summer.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
We all love seeing all those beautiful bright blue shirts and big bright smiles. By Tuesday, I think they tend to be a little bit dragging on the smile part. They're just so tired.
It's true. Hey, y'all, I'm going to stop recording.
Excellent. Thank you so much.